dear learners. I'm Christina Georgy and I welcome you to my channel. In my previous video, we dealt with the novel as a literary genre. Today we'll discuss the aspects of the novel. So the focus areas include plot, characters, characterization, narrative modes, style, time and place, theme. Before we move on, let me ask you, are you a Harry Potter fan? If so, you are gonna love this video, for I have included examples from the Harry Potter series, not just to make this video interesting, but also to facilitate easy comprehension. Let's move on to plot. This was mentioned for the first time by the Greek philosopher Aristotle in his famous work Poetics in the 14th century BC. He used the term plot as one of the most important constituents of a great tragedy. He defines a plot as, I quote, a combination of the incidents, events, situations and actions in a story, I unquote. Remember, Aristotle never differentiated between a plot and a story. Do you know who drew a distinction between a plot and a story? It was Edmund Morgan Foster in his work Aspects of the Novel. We already discussed this in our previous video. If you haven't watched, please find the link in the description. According to Foster, a story is a narrative of events arranged in their time sequence, whereas a plot is a narrative of events according to a sense of causality, meaning the relationship between cause and effects. The types of plots. There are quite a few types of plot distinctions. Firstly, let's discuss Hudson's classification of the plot into two, namely the loose plot and the organic plot. In a loose plot, the story is composed of a number of detached incidents with very little necessary or logical connection among themselves, whereas an organic plot consists of separate incidents that are neatly dovetailed and form the integral components of a definite plot pattern. So an example for a loose plot would be Daniel Defoe's Robinson Crusoe, whereas Harry Potter would serve as an example for an organic plot. Moving on to Aristotle's classification. Aristotle made a distinction between a simple plot and a complex plot. A simple plot, according to him, is largely episodic in nature, whereas a complex plot involves both peripeteia and anagnorisis. So what do you mean by peripeteia? It is the reversal of fortune, whereas anagnorisis means recognition. We will discuss these aspects in detail in our upcoming video on literary theory and criticism. So let's move on to Hudson's classification 2. Hudson also made a distinction between a simple plot and a complex plot. A simple plot, according to him, is a plot in which only a single story is told, whereas in a complex plot, multiple stories work hand in hand to bring about a single unified whole. Moving on to characters. In each and every novel we read, we come across a lot of characters. What do you mean by a character? A character means a figure in any literary piece of work. Characters could be both human as well as non-human entities, such as animals or even inanimate entities that have been personified by the author. If we have a look at Rowling's Harry Potter series, we see a mixture of human and non-human characters. Harry and his friends serve as the central characters, that is the human characters, whereas a lot of non-human characters such as Buckbeak, the hippogriff, Hedwig the owl, etc. play prominent roles in the series. Types of characters. According to Foster, there are two types of characters, namely flat characters and round characters. Flat characters are built around a single idea or quality. They are often presented in the novel, but the actions of such characters do not affect the plot. We may know their names, but we don't know much about them. For example, in the Harry Potter series, Crabbe and Goyle are flat characters. They act as henchmen to Draco. Remember, flat characters are two-dimensional in nature and so do not undergo change in the course of a novel. Round characters. These are combination of several ideas or qualities. They have a distinct sense of personal identity and are often responsible for their words, deeds, and attitudes. These characters are fully developed, so we do often know how they look, how they act, what they say, what they think, and what others think about them. Let me ask you, name a round character from the Harry Potter series. Obviously, Harry is a round character. Apart from him, his friends like Ron Weasley, Miss Granger, etc. can be considered as round characters. Moving on to characterization. Characterization is a study of the different methods that a novelist may use to present a whole range of characters in a logically arranged manner. The technique employed varies from novel to novel and novelist to novelist. There are certain elements of characterization. They include physical elements such as age, appearance, etc., emotional elements such as romance, backstory, etc., mental elements such as knowledge, self-esteem, etc., social elements such as family, romantic associations, etc., spiritual elements such as values, beliefs, religion, etc., and environmental elements such as the living environment, the house, the workplace, etc. Moving on to narrative modes. The narrative is an important strategy available to the novelist with the aid of which he or she can create, describe, or comment upon either the character or the situation or both. The study of the narrative modes can be of immense help to you in different ways. It can help you to understand how a novel is different from other genres, such as a poem or a drama. It can also help you to distinguish between different types of novels. The following types of narrative methods are well known: the first person narrative and the third person narrative. Let's have a detailed look at them. Firstly, the first person narrative. In this narrative mode, a novelist creates a character and attempts to view other characters through the newly created character's point of view. Here the story is narrated by one character at a time. The first person narrative can be recognized by the use of I or we. A popular example is Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre. The third person narrative. In this narrative, the narrator is located outside the story. Here, the novelist narrates a story about the characters and refers to them by name or using the third person pronouns such as he, she, or they. J.K. Rowling has effectively made use of the third person point of view for the Harry Potter series. Most novels have first person or third person narration. Second person narrative novels are pretty rare. Moving on to style. It is a distinctive signature of a writer, an expression of his or her creative genius. The manner in which the message is conveyed, the choice of words used gives rise to the aspect of style. Style, therefore, is particular to a writer, and it is the distinguishing factor that separates the writer from other writers. The Harry Potter novels are mainly directed at a young adult audience. The novel, as you know, falls into the genre of fantasy fiction. Novelist Rowling has effectively made use of the third-person omniscient narrator with a whole lot of interesting spells, enchantments, and magic. Time and place. The notion of time and place is derived from the classical notions of the unities, and these are very often ascribed to Aristotle. Which are the three unities? Unity of time, unity of place, and unity of action. Aristotle, however, dealt only with the unity of action. Remember, he was talking about tragedy, not novel. The action of a novel has to be located in time as well as place if it has to make sense to us. Both time and place are represented in a novel, and it is very often imaginary as well. Think about the fantasy world of Hogwarts. Haven't you wished to be part of it? Exactly, this is the outcome of such representations. It is so because a novelist always likes to add an element of fiction to whatever he or she writes or may choose to describe or narrate. Moving on to themes. Themes arise from the interplay of various aspects of the novel. We locate the theme with the help of the characters, the action, and the setting of the novel. Remember, an idea becomes a theme only when it recurs throughout a novel in such a way as to demonstrate a writer's preoccupation with it. The Harry Potter series deals with themes such as good versus evil. Who represents evil here? He who must not be named. Exactly. The other prominent themes include love, death, power, faith, confronting fears, self-sacrifice, and magic, among many others. So that was the major aspects of the novel served to you in simple digestible bits. I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, do let me know in the comment section. For more such useful, interesting videos, please do subscribe to my channel. We'll meet again soon with another video. Till then, take care and thanks for watching.